Good morning, PP2, and welcome to another science lesson. Okay, so today for science we have two topics. We're going to talk about science experiments and how we do them, and we're going to talk about living things, and in this case, particularly living things in ASEAN. Okay, so let's get started with science experiments, and particularly the steps that are involved in making a science experiment. Okay, so the first step in every science experiment is you have a question. There is something you don't know and you want to test it. So first, the question could be, for example, I have here two balls. I have a small ball and I have a big ball. Now, my question could be, which ball falls faster? Which ball falls faster? That is my question. Yes? So that's the first step. I have my question. Which ball falls faster? The small one or the big one? Yes? Then step number two in every science experiment is you make an assumption. Ooh, that's a difficult word. Assumption. Basically, it means guess. Yes, you kind of guess in your head what you think the answer is based on things that you already know. So, for example, I could guess because this ball is bigger than this one, I can guess that it's probably heavier. So, I think that this ball will hit the ground faster than this ball. Yes, that is step number two, to make an assumption. So my assumption is this ball will fall faster than this ball. Now step number three is do the experiment. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to drop these balls and I'm going to see which one hits the ground first. Yes? All right, so let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm going to drop the balls again one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. Yes, I want to do the experiment 3 times to make sure that every time the answer is the same. All right, so here's the last one. And again, I'm going to drop the balls at the same time. Which one hits the ground first? 1, 2, 3. Okay, and step number 4 is record the experiment results. Yes, so we're going to record the experimental results. So, first time we had the big ball and the small ball, we dropped them and they both hit the ground at the same time. Yes, so the first result is at the same time. Then the second time I dropped them, they again dropped at the same time. And the third time I dropped the balls, again, they both dropped at the same time. So the conclusion of the science experiment is that the big ball and the small ball both fall at the same speed. Okay, so let's open our book on page 32, this page right over here. And over here you see the 4 steps, and you have to write them in order. We're going to do number 1 and number 2 together, and I want you to try and do number 3 and 4 by yourself. Yes? So remember, which is number 1? Number 1 is ask the question. Ask the question. So ask the question is at the bottom over there. So over there we're going to write number 1. Number 1. We're going to write over there and ask the question. Then which one is number 2? Do you remember? Yes, it's make a guess or make an assumption. Yes, so you need to make a guess or an assumption about what is going to happen when you do the experiment. So that one over there is number 2. Yes, number 2. Okay. Now the next ones I'm still gonna help you. I'm still gonna read and give you the answer, but I'm not gonna write it down. You have to write it down by yourself. Okay, so step 3. Who remembers what step 3 is for a science experiment? Yes, step number 3 is do an experiment. Yes, step number 3 is do an experiment. So I want you to find do an experiment over here on the page. And then I want you to write number 3. All right, did you do it? Okay, good job. So the last one, number 4, is record the experimental results. Record the experimental results. Yeah, so you write down what the answer of your experiment was. Can you find it? It's at the top somewhere. Okay, very good. Then we can go to the next part of our video. Like I said, we're going to be talking about living things. Now, in the past, I have already made a video about living and non-living things. So we're going to go back to that video, which is a long time ago, and I'm sure you already forgot. So we're going to have a look back at that old video about living and non-living things. And when that video is finished, we're going to come right back here and do the next couple of pages. Today we're going to be talking about living things. Now, what is a living thing? Now, in order to see if a thing is living or non-living, a living thing needs to follow 4 simple rules. So let's have a look at those 4 rules. Rule number 1, energy. All living things need some sort of energy. So for you and me, that means, for example, things like eating. Yes, we eat to get energy. Animals do the same things. But for plants, they get most of their energy from the sun, and they get water from the ground. Okay, rule number 2. A living thing needs to reproduce. Now, to reproduce means to make more of itself. So, again, with animals, that means little babies. So you get like this, little puppies or little kittens like this. For plants, it means they make seeds, and these seeds slowly grow into a new plant or flower. Which brings us to rule number 3. Rule number 3 means to grow and or change. So let's start with grow. What does it mean to grow? Well, to grow just means that you get bigger. You start off as a small little baby like this, and then you slowly get bigger. You get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you eat too much like me, you also get bigger and bigger and bigger that way. But animals aren't the only things that grow or change. Also, plants. So if you put a little seed in the ground, like you see in this picture over here, the seed will slowly grow and grow into another plant, or sometimes even a big giant tree like this one over here. Change. So some animals change a lot. Let's have a look, for example, at a frog. So a frog starts off as an egg, like you can see over here. When the frog comes out of the egg, it's a tadpole, which looks like this. It's just a little ball with a big tail. Then after a while, it starts to grow some legs at the back. It still has its tail. Then it starts growing front legs, like this one over here, and it's still got its tail. Now eventually it'll lose its tail, and it'll get bigger and bigger, and it'll be a frog, like this. So that means growing or changing. Okay, that brings us to the last rule for today. Rule number 4. Rule number 4 means being able to respond to your environment. Now those are 2 very difficult words, respond and environment. Well, environment is easy. Environment just is the world around us. And to be able to respond to the world around us just means to adapt or change certain things about yourself. For example, if it gets really cold outside, we might put on a jacket or put on a hat, like this. Now, animals do the same thing. For example, when it gets really cold outside, the bear goes in hibernation. Hibernation means that it goes to sleep for a very long time, like you can see in this picture over here. Now, what do plants do to respond to their environment? Well, I keep talking about temperature, so let's keep going with that one. So in autumn, when it starts to get colder, most of the trees are starting to change color and their leaves fall to the ground. That's how the plants respond or react to their environment. So in order for something to be alive, it needs to follow all four of the rules. Not just one or three or two, all four. Okay, so now that we all remember what living and non-living things are, we can go to the next page in our book, which is this page. Now this page is very easy because you don't need to write anything down. You just have to listen and repeat. Yes? Listen and repeat. So the first thing we're going to do on this page is have a look at the animals, the national animals of the countries of ASEAN. Not all the countries, but just 6 countries. All right, so the first country is Thailand. And what is the national animal of Thailand? It is the elephant. Okay, repeat after me. Thailand. One more time. Thailand. Okay, good job. Next is elephant. 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 Okay, good job. Okay, next to Thailand we have Cambodia. Let's repeat after me. Cambodia. Cambodia. All right, and what is the national animal of Cambodia? The national animal of Cambodia is the coupre. Repeat after me. Coupre. 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 Okay, let's have a look at the next country. And the next country is Indonesia. Indonesia. Repeat after me. Indonesia. 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 Okay, good job. And what is the national animal of Indonesia? It is the Komodo dragon. Ooh, that sounds scary. A dragon? It's not a real dragon. It's just a big lizard. And we call it the Komodo dragon. All right, repeat after me. Komodo. Komodo dragon. Dragon. Komodo dragon. Okay, then we go to the next country, Myanmar. Over here we have Myanmar. And what is the national animal of Myanmar? It is the Bengal tiger. The Bengal tiger. Repeat after me. Bengal. One more time. Bengal tiger. Tiger. Bengal tiger. Okay, good job. All right, let me go to the Philippines. Repeat after me. Philippines. 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 All right, and the national animal of the Philippines is the carabao. Yes, repeat after me. Carabao. 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 All right. And the last country for this page is Singapore. Repeat after me. Singapore. 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 Okay, and what is the national animal of Singapore? Well, it is the lion. That's an easy one. Lion. Repeat after me. Lion. Lion. All right, good job. Let's go to the next page. And on this page, we're going to have a look at the national flowers of some of these countries of ASEAN. More particularly, the color of the flowers from these countries. So we have a lot of different colors, yes? We have red and yellow and pink and green. We have purple and orange and blue. Yes, those are some examples of different colors. And I think you know where this is going. We're going to sing a rainbow. All right, so let's get ready for the song and let's all sing together a rainbow.
Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too.
Okay, we all know that song, don't we? All right, but now we're going to go back to this page. So over here we see 3 different countries with 3 different flowers, and more importantly, 3 different color flowers. So we're going to start with Malaysia. 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 And the national flower of Malaysia is the Bunga Raya. Yes, the Bunga Raya. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not really sure how they pronounce that in Malaysia, but it is the Bunga Raya. But more importantly, what color is the Bunga Raya? Yes, the Bunga Raya is red. It is red. Repeat after me. Red. Red. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want you to get out your red color pencil and I want you to color the box next to the red flower and I want you to color that whole box red. That's easy, right? Just like this. Okay, next we're going to have a look at Myanmar. Yes, Myanmar. And in Myanmar, the national flower is the paduak. Repeat after me. Paduak. Paduak. And again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm not from Malaysia, so I don't know how to pronounce this flower. All right. What color is the flower? Yes, that flower is yellow. Repeat after me. Yellow. Yellow. Okay, so now I want you to color that box yellow. Yes, color the whole box yellow. Don't wait for me to show you because I'm not going to show you every box. I know you know what yellow is. So color that box yellow. Okay, and the last country is Vietnam. Yes, the last country is Vietnam. And their flower or their national flower is the lotus. It's not Tesco lotus, it's not a shopping mall. No, it is just a lotus. Repeat after me. Lotus. Lotus. And what color is the lotus? Yes, the lotus is pink. So get out your pink color and color that box pink. All right, which brings us to the last page of today, which is also the last page of your book. Yay! We finished the whole book. It's the first book for this year that we are finishing. Okay, now don't worry. I still have lots of fun science experiments that we can do together. And I hope the school will open soon enough so we can actually do these experiments together in the classroom rather than you just watching on YouTube on how I do these experiments. I really hope we can do them together. So let's hope the school is opening up soon. But now let's have a look at the last page of your book. So the last page of your book, you need to draw lines from the big circle in the middle that says groups of living things. And you have to draw a line from the living thing to that big circle in the middle. Yes? So only the living things. Yes? Only the living things you draw a line to the circle in the middle, not the non-living things. Yes? The non-living things we don't draw a line. So let's start with the people of Singapore. So those are two people. Yes? Are people living things? Yes, like you and me. Are we alive? Yes, of course we are. We are living things. Now, as you can see, that line is already finished in your book. So you don't have to draw that line. You can trace the line, but you don't have to draw the line by yourself. All right, next to that we have Thailand. Thailand. And what do we have a picture of over there? It is the temple of the Emerald Buddha. Yes, Wat Pa Keo. Yes, Wat Pa Keo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, I'm sorry. All right, so Wat Pa Keo. Is Wat Pa Keo a living or non-living thing? Yes, it's a building. It cannot move. It cannot grow. It doesn't have babies. So it's not a living thing. So for this one, we don't draw a line to the big circle in the middle. So don't draw a line. Okay. Then we go to the flower. Yes, Indonesia. And Indonesia has the moon orchid. The moon orchid. Is a flower a living thing? Let's think. Well, it grows and flowers can spread and make small flowers that get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, I think a flower is a living thing. So let's draw a line from the flower to the circle in the middle. Okay, last one. The last one is the Philippines. And in the Philippines, what animal did we have? We have the carabao. Yes, we have the carabao in the Philippines. And an animal, is an animal a living thing? Yes, this carabao over there, is that a living thing or a non-living thing? Well, again, it has babies, it needs to eat, it starts very small and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So, yeah, it's a living thing. So let's draw a line from the carabao to the circle in the middle. Okay, when you're finished with that, you can close your book because the book is finished. We are not going to open the book again unless we need to look back and practice some more of the things that we've already learned. Yes, we call that revision. Yes. Revision. Revision means you go back and look again just to refresh your brain. We do this usually before like tests and exams. So you don't have to worry about that now. Okay, now don't throw your book away because you do need to bring your book back to school even though it is already finished. I want you to bring it back when the school opens so I can tick, 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 tick. Check your book. Yes, I didn't check your book for many weeks now because you're at home and I'm at school, so I don't get to see your books. So when you come back, bring all your books so I can tick, 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 tick all your books. But this is it for today, and we will see each other again tomorrow for another maths lesson. So, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.